Okay, good morning. Good morning,
Good
Goran.
morning. Good morning.
Where are you now?
I'm now in Germany, in Munich, where I'm working and living already for
That's
7 years.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, we are here because you wrote a book.
Yes, correct. I
What's
can
the name of the book?
show it. It's How the Ship Changed My Life.
I
the
have
book right
mine
here.
too. It's in Spanish. Mine is in Spanish.
Mine is on English so far.
Okay,
But
it's good to practice. It's good for the crew to practice English.
yes, of course. It's but I have also goals to develop a book in my language, Croatian, because I'm Croatian, and also on German, since I'm working and living here, and also Spanish, of course. But let's go one by one.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, my language is Croatian. I speak English, a bit of Spanish, a bit of German, because when I'm working here, I use most of the time English. So, but also, yeah, it's learning, still it's every language takes time to master.
It's very
So
good to work on ships, to know so many languages.
I don't know few, I don't know so many.
In what department did you work?
So I worked in food and beverage department and in a restaurant, in my case.
Oh, a lot of work in that department.
A lot. You work every single day. You don't have day off. Minimum 10 hours a day and sometimes 15. It sounds completely unreal, but this is the life on board. It's you work a bit in the morning, afternoon, for dinner, definitely always. I mean, everything what I will say, I'm talking exclusively from my own experience where I work. So I don't know much about other departments, but I mean, more or less is the work tempo is the same. So
yes, it is.
Everywhere is a lot of work.
Yes, sure. How did you start working on ships?
Well, I applied through one agency in Croatia and in my country, which is taking care of hiring people on board. And I'm sure every country has this kind of agencies to help people with this kind of job. So
what year? In what year?
It was like middle of 2012, and it passed 6 months since I apply until I get on the ship. So it was like half of the year. It's a long progress, but actually that depends about paperwork. Depends what you have already, like passports, visa, IDs, I don't know, everything what is necessary to have, for the working on the ship.
What's the name of your book? Just show me again the book.
Of course, how the ship changed how the ship changed my life.
Yes, very good. Cómo el barco cambió mi vida. Oh my God.
Your choice or adventure.
How did you came with the idea to write a book?
So the idea was started like that. After I finished working on the ship, settled down and started to work on the land, as more I mentioned to the people about my experience on the ship, the more questions they had. So to avoid all the time repeating myself same things about such a huge topic, I decided to write about it, like to a couple of most common questions. But very soon I realized that you cannot explain so much to people with few sentences. So I thought I could go even further. I could write a book. So like that it started.
And how many chapters have the book? What is
I mean,
about?
well, I make like two main chapters, like life on board and life on the land. So I separate because I also talk a lot about the after ship, but again, I'm coming back on the topic of the ship, even from the land. So it's it has many chapters, but these are two basics, and then each of them have like 8, I think, chapters. So it's a lot of things because, like I said, this is not small topic, and I think I really want to show the people, from my perspective, my experience, to share, to try to, in some point, to change their way of thinking. And I really enjoyed writing the book, actually, because remembering all these memories, adventures, it's something special.
Same happened
And
to me. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
you were working also on the ship, you mentioned, no?
Yeah, I was crew person.
And a lot of work.
Yeah. And what
Not
would
so
you
much.
recommend the most? Work on the ships or work on land?
Well, hmm, I will always recommend. I will definitely recommend young people to try this kind of job. First of all, because you will learn so many things in so many ways you never could even imagine from your comfort zone at home. It's simply something that makes you feel very alive, passing through all these hard things, because once you overcome all this, you'll be very grateful to yourself for the choices that you made, and you will be much more mature in many areas of your life. You will learn so much about other nationalities and countries. You'll be more aware of the decisions you will make in the future. I mean, there is a lot of benefits for your life once you pass this kind of experience.
What was your goal when you were on board? Like save or know different places or save money to have a business on the land?
Well, my first goal when I started think about ship was just to get on the ship. I didn't worry much about kind of a job I will do as long as I got that life opportunity that taught me so much. I mean, because even in beginning, I start become little by little aware how big things that actually is. It's not just, let's say, like when you work on the land, you just go to the job, you do 8 hours, that's it, you go home, relaxing. It's not so, doesn't look so simple. And I mean, traveling the world and meeting a lot of people from other nationality was much more my priority than saving money or creating a career from ship life. Even though I had a very good progress on board and getting promotions, I'm not saying, I mean, if some other things I did, I was not in love more from the land, probably I will work even now, still now on the ship, but I have some other passions. And of course, I always recommend for everyone to try this kind of life, this kind of job, but not too long, just like couple of years,
Very
just to
good
get
advice. Because
just
if
to
you
get
stay on the ship when you are very old, then it's difficult to find a job on land.
yes, I mean, it's even kind of, it was difficult for me after just 3 contracts, which is like, let's say, 3 years, to come back on land and settle down, and again everything to start. It was kind of difficult, but yeah, it's not easy thing. What I wanted to say, just this few couple of years to work on the ship, it's already enough that it give you these very basics things in life, like to really make you think different in more mature way, to see how things are in the world. I mean, because things that you see at home, on TV, how is outside, it's nothing to comparing, but when you experience them,
Sure.
and it's totally different when you met people from so many different nationalities. You met their culture, you learn always something new. Like, no, you are a totally different person, and this is completely different story. It's not like you think you're watching at home. Like I said, on TV, you see something, you think you know something. Doesn't work like that.
You don't. And what places do you see in your contract?
Well, I was doing 3 contracts. In my case, each contract was 9 months, and we visited North America, Caribbean. Uh, we crossed over Atlantic, we did Baltic cruise, Mediterranean.
Oh, the Baltic
Yeah.
that now is for the war is like suspended this itinerary, that itinerary.
Is it?
Some of that places, the ships are not going there because
Because of the
it's a little
situation.
bit dangerous. Yeah.
Huh.
But for you, you are from Croatia. The Caribbean is like very far from your culture.
In which point of view?
Because you know, when I am from Argentina.
Mhm.
So I am very close to your wife because you met your wife in on the ships. So you get married on ships. That is very weird, you know, because a lot of people say that one contract you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and it's not like that. I know a lot of people that get married on ships.
First of all, I didn't get married on ship. I just met back then my girlfriend, and yeah, we were been together all the time. You know, all these 3 contracts. Just after, I mean, the relationship is not the same when you started, like after first contract and after 3 contracts. You know, it's when you spend more time together, of course, you sense that things getting more serious. You know what you can plan with the person you love, and you know how she is or he is. And after we settled down, I mean, we talk about it, and then we had already like further plan what to do, and we marry on the land in Croatia, in my country, and yeah, and then from then we start to plan to come in other country, like in this case is Germany, and yeah, we are already here 7 years working and living.
And you came to Peru also?
Yes, of course. I proposed my wife in marvelous Machu Picchu.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's also mentioned in the book, everything, all the stories. So
oh, really?
It's yeah, I couldn't avoid the topic Peru in the book because Peru is really amazing country. I have so many varieties of food, fruits, vegetables, and the nature. This Machu Picchu, the old Incas culture, it's really fascinated for me. It's amazing. I mean, I'm sure people heard about it, but again, they need to go there to experience that. It's really unique experience.
Can we get your book here in America?
Definitely, you can get a book in America because my publishers is they are international, so they also have in US. If if I remember right, they are in US, New Zealand, Australia, Europe, even Dubai, I think. They are all worldwide, so you can even get an Amazon and
good, an ebook.
Yeah, in ebook is also possible, like physical book and ebook, of course. And yeah, it's that's why I'm very grateful, you know, that this was my goal with the book, to be international, because I mean, if I wrote the book just on Croatian language, you know, and to share with my country, it's not so worldwide, obviously. And plus, I mean, I had I had a lot of ex-colleagues from the ship who really supported me about that, you know, and
yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yes, you saw that. As soon as I get the book out, you know, so many congratulations and so many, which was a great feeling because that was really my long-term wish, and I really wanted to make something from that.
And it's good that the book is in English because you can reach countries like Philippines or Indonesia, where is the most of the crew.
Yes, exactly. That's true. We work with a lot of Indians, Filipinos, Indonesians, all kind of people, nationalities, and I have, like I said, still now I have a lot of friends from all these countries, and they were really happy to hear about book. Like, I mean, unfortunately, one sad part of the ship, once you sign off, you know, once you settle down, some of these people you don't see anymore, and but this is part of life. But hopefully one day, at least some of them, still some of them I saw after ship, but others not so much. But this is part of the life, I guess. Anyway, yeah, the book is worldwide. Everybody can reach it, and like I said, I'm also trying to develop in other languages to make easier for the some countries, because I understand some not everybody knows English, and like I said, this is my point, really to spread this my experience to show people. I mean, to try to, like I said before, to show them different way of thinking. Because one thing is when you experience something, another thing is when you just heard about it, and you don't even know what you heard from someone, if that's really true, completely true, or it's like exaggerated, you know. I'm sure you're also familiar with these kind of stories. So
Yeah. And now you work in something related to cruise ships on land?
no,
The experience on board was useful for you to get a
very
shot?
it was very, I mean, the thing is that in my time before ship, when I finished high school, I tried to find some job in Croatia, but Croatia hit a big crisis, and there was mm, hard to find a job. And after searching like a few years for a job, I said like, okay, this is the clear sign that I need to do something different, to try something different. And then idea came out about ship, that I heard from one friend talking about it, and I start to investigate a bit. I found this agency, and the soon I start sending email to agency, you know, I was not even aware that that day how big change will hit me. And since then everything started to change. And yeah, and sorry, I forgot what was your question about it, because when I'm
The
going
people always say, once on ship, always on ship. Are you planning to
Yes.
return at some point?
Actually, I also mentioned these things in the book, that during the writing the book, you know, once you see all this, I was checking also the old pictures, the better memory to review, you know.
Nostalgia.
Yes, and I in one point I was really like, oh my God, I want to go back, you know. No matter how hard it was, because it was very hard, but all this experience, so this is hard to explain to people who didn't pass through that. And I was like, in one moment I started to question myself, my gosh, should we go back, you know? And then we start but in the end, of course, we didn't come back, because I mean, once you settle down, well, like we mentioned before, it's difficult again, you know, to make everything on land again. And yeah, we said like, okay, it's better to stay here, because I mean, you also get older, you know, and I mean, it's many things different then. But like I said, yeah, definitely from
You
the
are
ship.
young, you can still embark.
Definitely, I don't doubt in that, because also when I remember my colleagues who came on board, like they were like even over 40, you know, it's like really encouraging that people in this kind of age decide on this kind of life, at least even for a while. But yeah, I recommend everyone. I mean, of course, you don't need to wait like 40 years old to get on board. Definitely, it's my
Well, if you're a
recommendation.
manager, you can. If you're a manager, they're a manager like 50
Yes,
years old or
yes, of course,
more.
yes. No, I'm
Well,
talking. Yeah.
in Germany, you have river cruises, right?
Yes, we have river cruises, but like I said, since I'm here in Germany, I don't have nothing with the agencies or river cruises, anything with ship life. I'm working in one hotel as a bartender.
Oh, well, so the ship,
But
it was useful for that.
very, very.
Because
I mean,
think it's easier to work at a hotel than on a ship.
Definitely, because I mean, you have very good background. You know what you can expect. I mean, if you remember, among crew members, they always say, if you can survive the ship, you can survive anything. So everything else is like a game,
Right.
because
And you
we
have
don't.
day off on a hotel. On a ship, we don't have.
Yes, exactly. I mean, on the ship, we talk about hours off. On the land, you have days off, and that's a huge difference.
That's great. So I will publish this with a link to buy your book, your ebook. So in America, we can get the book because you are so far.
I'm very grateful for that. Yes, definitely.
Okay. And of course, I will translate because Noticias de Cruceros, Cruise News, is in Spanish. So I will translate you because otherwise, or your wife, or you can use your wife to translate.
I can, yes, you can send me the questions and she can translate on Spanish, of course. It will be easier also for you. And then you can just launch
the crew members, we help each other always.
Always. I mean, I also mentioned another quote in the book. It's like you can take the ship. Wait, how it was? You can take out the man from the ship, but you cannot take out the ship from the man. It's things
Nice
like I
quote.
said. These things stays with you all your life. I mean, your life is never same after it, and this is something I will always be grateful that I make a choice for that, and it will always stay with you, no matter what.
So we recommend this job to everyone, to all the group.
Of course, definitely. But like I said, not too long, because too long is also not good. I mean, your health, you're getting like cut off from the world. You don't know what's happening in the world because you're becoming.
And then they don't want to disembark because they don't have a life. The people start getting married, having kids, and they don't have anything on the land.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, not for everyone is the same story. Not everybody has thinking the same way once they get on the land again. But in the beginning, when you start to work on the ship, I mean, it's true. It's hard to stop with it, because this traveling on so many destinations, I mean, you're spending on board like more than half of the year with people that basically they become like your family. You see them every single day, you spend with them every hour, and they become like family to you. And of course, it's not easy then to get off the ship and like forget about everything.
Are you planning to continue writing?
Well,
did you enjoy to write this? Yes, of course.
Right now, I'm working on my second book. I'm almost finishing,
good.
But I mean, that's a bit different kind of book, not this kind of ship life topic. But yeah, I was thinking about also writing another book about. I mean, you can see it's 492 pages.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So that's a lot,
I am afraid of what are you saying in this book.
So it's a lot that I talk about on the ship, and most of the things is mentioned already, So only what I can continue writing is about, because even after the ship,
you don't give names on that book, right? Only the situations.
No, I give the names of some friends. Of course, I ask them kindly if they will accept to be, if they want to be, mentioned in the book. Because also I have the pages where I put a couple of questions, and they also answering them as a crew members, because I also want the reader see the opinion of other crew members, not just me, And yeah, I mean, I didn't mention, of course, the like names like company or name of the ship, and more, these things are more sensitive. So
Sure.
because I mean, my book is always written in good intention, not to offend anyone.
No, because the passenger sometimes doesn't know what happened on board. So
no.
That we work so many hours, or we don't have day off.
No. especially, and then when they come with all kind of ridiculous questions to us crew members. I'm sure
Oh,
you
that's
know.
great. I want to read this book.
Oh,
I will buy it.
I also mentioned about this a lot about guests, you know, the funny things. It's really comedy when you're reading these things.
As the life on board is.
Yes, definitely. Because also, you know, I mean, you have guests, they come on board. Like I understand you came on vacation to relax, you know, but I mean, some people were like totally turn off, turn off, like no common sense and so ridiculous questions they asking. Like, I mean, but this is everything part of
Do
the
you
ship.
sleep
I mean,
here, like things like that? Do you sleep on the cruise ship?
yeah, no, we are going with helicopter home every night.
Yeah, that's the main question.
But one of my favorite was the question from the photographers, you know, like how we can know which pictures are ours.
No,
Do you need a mirror or something? Like,
no,
and
no, really.
things like that. I mean, it's really
Oh my God.
like readers will, when they read these things that we were passing with, you know, with guests, they will think like I invent that. I didn't invent that. It's really happening, and it's really, but okay, I mean, you need to look at that like a funny side, you know, because not to stress about like, oh my God, what's wrong with you or something like that. You need to look at that because
It's
it's
like
life.
part of the job.
Yeah, it's a part of the show. Yeah.
So Goran, so thank you so much for this interview. At what time is now in Germany?
Now it's 2:25 p.m. afternoon.
Here.
So and
okay.
In Argentina is morning, right?
It's 9 o'clock. We are very early here. We have all day still.
We are all day still. Where in Argentina?
In Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires. I never been in Argentina. I heard it's a nice country. You have nice nature, I heard. And,
Yeah.
but of course, it will be nice. I'm planning to visit still many countries, you know.
That's the beautiful part of this job. You can know so many things, so many people, so many places. It's the amazing part of work on cruise ships.
Of course, of course. Yeah, that's the beauty of life. I mean, I will say like that. And as I mentioned in one quote, you always need to travel as much as you can, as farther you can, as long as you can, you know, because life is not meant to be in one place to live. This is really like one of the biggest advantage in life that we have, I would say.
Definitely.
So definitely, yeah.
So, okay, thank you so much. I will publish this, and of course, I will send you this from Noticias de Cruceros. Okay?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate for your time.
You.
Thank you very much.
Say hi to your wife. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.